Joining us now to review some of the headlines of today's newspapers from around the world is Arise News analyst Emmanuel Efeni. Good morning, Emmanuel.
Good morning, Ruben. Good morning, Tundu. Good morning, Leila. Let's start with these day newspapers. The lead story, Northern governors reject regional security outfit. Shege, Fasa, say name of outfit derogatory, abusive. Insist on community policing. Southeast governors ask state assemblies to enact laws on joint security outfits. Right, federal government. Well, expectedly, this operation being proposed by an amorphous group, the Northern Coalition Group. The governors are not buying into that. The whole idea was to prod the governors into action, but the governors have other ideas. They would rather state policing than any outfits, going by what the governors are saying. But Ruben was wondering why the Attorney General of the Federation has not made any comment. You expect the chief law officer of the country to be responding to an amorphous group.
Yes, because it's not the northern governors this time.
No, it's not the governors. It's just a group.
It doesn't have to be the governors. To the extent that we say...
It's a proposal. They are just making a proposal.
No, the other
they've
times...
gone ahead and launched it, haven't they? They've got their uniforms. We saw that little drill that they were having.
It's not a proposal.
Yes,
they've already established it. And, you know, to the extent that we say that security is a collective responsibility, the initiative does not necessarily have to come from state governors. It can come from any group. And in fact, if the Attorney General previously condemned the initiative by the Southwest governors, he has even greater justification now to speak up. When what you have is a coalition of northern groups of youths who are saying, look, the northern people should resort also to self-help and try to protect themselves.
This is also a group.
So that's why I called out the Attorney General, and I said, we would like to hear his comment.
On this matter.
Whether immediately or later, you know, because the other time it was very quick to say, you know, what the Southwest governors were doing was illegal.
Maybe he has learned lessons from the condemnation that followed.
I don't want to be dragged into that.
Recall last year as well, this is the same group that came out to give the federal government a 28-day or 30-day ultimatum, saying that if they hadn't responded or removed their suspension of Ruga settlements, that they were going to cause havoc for southerners living in the north. So this is a group that's known to throw out threats and try and put in all sorts of demands that are never going to happen. So I think it is quite important for the government to actually take the bull by the horn, for one, and to respond to a group like this. It's not as if it's a group that no one knows.
And in 2017, they issued a quit notice to Igbos in the north.
Well, it's like the federal government does not take this group very seriously. So they cannot just be issuing statements.
There was no response to those statements, yes.
There wasn't. And there was
it could be read either way.
They already have a uniform. They have a logo. They have vehicles, and they're saying that they are determined.
They've launched it.
And they are disowning northern elders and saying that the northern elite are disconnected from the people. They do not understand the needs or the expectations of the people. So, I mean, the more reason why we should know what the state thinks about them.
The police hierarchy, they are watching. I'm sure they will put them in their place at the appropriate time. Let's move on to other stories.
But, I mean, why should we have a security outfit Amotekun in the southwest?
Yes.
The eastern governors, the governors of the southeast, they've already said, look, they have decided that they will have their own security outfit, and they are notifying the federal government. So why shouldn't northern groups also have their own?
Well, the governors, who are the chief security officers of their various states, have said they are for state policing. Perhaps they will pursue...
community policing.
Community policing. They will pursue that, since the federal government is also very much keen about the community policing, although we have not seen a proper template for that, because what we are hearing of a group of volunteers who will not be paid, any amount of money, perhaps we also need to get proper template of what the Inspector General of Police means by community policing, because the ideas being floated seem to be different from what obtains elsewhere where community policing is practiced. Well, if we need any verdict on the security situation, let's look at the Guardian newspaper, where the Northern Elders Forum, you have failed to perform, Northern leaders tell Buhari. Ohaneze vows to protect Igbo amid pervasive insecurity. Southeast governors to name own security outfit soon. Yoruba group threatens secession over Meiti Allah. ASU indicts federal government governors as gunmen abduct ABU ex-vice chancellor's daughter. Yesterday, that press conference by Professor Ango Abdullahi. And in that same city of Zaria, the daughter of former VC of Ahmadu Bello University was also kidnapped yesterday, despite the fact that that activity attracted security agents and they were gunshots. They were still able to take that lady away, 35-year-old daughter of former VC. But the response of the presidency to what Professor Ango Abdullahi is saying about the government failing the people in terms of security and, of course, the pervasive poverty in northern Nigeria. The presidency has not addressed the issue, but rather an attack on the Northern Elders Forum and Professor Abdullahi being described as a one-man riot squad, commander without followers. But the issues raised are germane. There is pervasive insecurity. With that demonstration of obvious insecurity in the city of Zaria yesterday, and this happened across the country, not just the northern part. I thought the best way that's the way the presidency or the spokespersons of the president have responded to this, becoming typical these days, to just attack the person who is criticizing the president rather than looking at the issues. Perhaps this is a new tactic for the presidential spokesperson.
Well, there's nothing that Professor Ango Abdullahi has said that is new, that's original, or that is strange. It's the same thing that everybody else has been saying, namely that government needs to show more dedication in terms of dealing with the insecurity challenge that Nigeria faces. I think the issue will be more about the response from Femi Adesina. He didn't want to mention his name. It was Femi Adesina, presidential spokesman, special advisor on media and publicity, who responded to him and more or less just dismissed him. In other words, he was saying that Professor Abdullahi does not speak for anybody. According to him, the Northern Elders Forum has no membership, and that is just an association of one man, just expressing his own opinion. Okay, whatever may be the case, what he is saying as a very distinguished Nigerian and as a highly respected person of Northern extraction, can we deal with it on its own merit? And what he's saying simply is what we say, what other people say, what the Christian Association of Nigeria has been saying, and other groups as well in the North, that, look, we need to tinker with, what is that phrase?
Architecture.
With security architecture, and take another look at the strategy that the government is adopting to deal with the challenge of insecurity. And I think it's clearly within its rights, even if he was speaking as a senior citizen, to make that point. It's not the right thing for government to dismiss everybody that offers criticism. And I've been saying it. It's not everything, that spokespersons for government should respond to. There are certain things you just ignore, Once you see that it's an obvious truth, it may be an inconvenient truth, but you don't need to respond to it.
But that would mean you are not working.
No. To what effect? To what effect?
You just keep quiet, Ruben?
No, when you say Ango Abdullahi is a one-man this, he has no troops and all that, who's going to believe you? So sometimes I think as spokespersons, we need to weigh.
The way he responded, not that he shouldn't respond.
Well,
he responded with a level of vitriol that I feel was unnecessary.
Very unnecessary.
I mean, a different way to respond would have been to say, well, Professor Ango Abdullahi has done this, but let him be reminded that President Buhari is committed to national security and the safety of lives and property. These are the steps that government has taken. It will have been a good opportunity to again showcase the achievements of the government.
Tell them.
That will have probably have been a better.
And if you don't have too much achievement to show in that regard?
No, there is a lot that, you can continually remind the public of, instead of wasting that opportunity.
Even when we are sitting on insecurity, what are you reminding us of?
What are you sitting on? No. I mean,
in
this
that
is public
city,
communication.
A lady was kidnapped yesterday.
No, but it's still public communication. You still remind everyone that these are the steps being taken by government.
Just rehash
And President Buhari is committed, and he has given his assurance time and again, now and then,
People need lessons from
and that Nigerians should remain confident that this administration will protect them, instead of taking a whole Ango Abdullahi and just throwing him under the bus, just like that.
Yep. Okay, let's just look at Vanguard. Why we are against Amoteku Meitiala? Yes, according to this group, they believe that the setting up of Amoteku is meant to flush out Fulanese herdsmen from the southwest. So that is why they are against Amoteku. Of course, the governor of Ondo State, Keredolu, saying that your fears are misplaced.
Yes.
Very.
We've
True.
always had Fulani herdsmen in the southwest.
Yes.
Exactly.
There's no plan to flush anybody. It's about security.
Otherwise,
Exactly.
how will you people be able to eat beef?
Exactly.
Because
It's got nothing to do with that.
there's this intercultural, synergy
You had to. You simply had to.
that transcends centuries.
Yes. Exactly. Well, let's just look at the foreign newspapers. Financial Times, short businesses hit China. Push to restart economy amid killer virus. Companies delay reopening. Coronavirus death past 800. It's 902. Well, businesses are still reeling under the...
Well, it's not only businesses in China that are affected. The expectation is that global business will also be affected, given the strategic value of China's economy to the global economy. But thank you very much.
Professor Efeni.
Thank you very
See you
much,
tomorrow.
Efeni.